guys, I'm gonna have to shout a little bit, I think, because I've not got a microphone on. I'm using the internal camera, and as you can hear, it's blowing a hoolie. So forecast for 45-50 mile an hour winds tonight. So yeah, I'm trying out the Stormgrotta tonight from a company called Fjern. All sounds very Scandinavian. It's actually not. It's a few British guys started up a company. I think it was I can't remember. I'll put a post up. I'll put a link up. Seemed quite a cool company, and this Stormgrotta's been getting a lot of traction over the last couple of weeks. Andrew Park Outdoors picked it up, and he put a discount code out, and everybody's bought it, including me. Got a really good deal from Sports Pursuit. It was just over 130 quid delivered. Look, it's detailed as a 4-season tent. Whether it is a true 4-season tent, I'm not sure. Quite light. It's only 1.6 kilos all in. Poles, pegs, fly, inner, everything. The one issue that I have seen with it, not issue, but thing I'm really wanting to try out, is I've done a little modification to the guy ropes. There's 6 guy ropes, which is quite a lot, but they're all positioned, I think, too far up the poles. So any gusts of wind, I don't know, you've maybe got a chance of a bent pole, or the tent just collapsing in on itself, because it's only I think it's only 8.5 millimeter poles. So looking forward to this one tonight. I'm heading out to, you see just there, that's my favourite spot, out to the dam, the reservoir, very close to where I live. It's going to be quiet because we're in the middle of a storm, so there's not going to be many chumps out in this weather, apart from me. So it's looking as lovely as ever, although it's a grey day, through the glen here, and then looking up to Lowther Hill, the top here. We've camped there. Oh, it'll be blustery up there tonight. If they're forecasting 50 miles an hour down here, it's going to be 70 odd up there, I guess. And then that's the golf ball up there. That's Green Lowther, I think, or Lowther Hill, one way around or another. We camped up there recently in the tiny little metal box. Sorry if I'm shouting, guys, but here we are. We're at the reservoir, the dam. I'm ashamed to say I don't know the name of it. I'll put it up on the screen when I edit this little bit, but it's looking absolutely lovely. Oh man, I just love being in this. Just love being in this space. Right, so I'm not going to record for a minute, because I'm going to have a walk around the dam to see where it's suitable to actually pitch, because like I say, I've never actually camped here before. Hey, the water is really high. You can see the water running off the hills here. Right, so I found a little spot right next to the water here. I'll spin you around. Nice little flat bit of land here, looking down, and then back that way is south-ish, and we've got a southwesterly wind, I think, tonight. So I'll double check that. So the wind's actually coming from over this hill here, which is maybe why it's not as strong just now. So really I want the tent, that'll be perfect, tent pitched into that direction. I might get a nice little view over the reservoir. Right guys, as I was saying, 1.6 kilos all in, everything that's fit in that front pocket of my bag. Well, I say everything. A small pack of pegs. I didn't want to put those in there just in case I went over and they slipped out. So here it is, nice little compression sack, weighs absolutely nothing. Nice little compression sack with a handle. I've not seen that before actually, it's quite neat. So clip those undone. Very similar to the Vango kind of quick pack bag. And there it is. So I've actually been really lucky with the weather. Although it's supposed to be gusts of 50 miles an hour tonight, I am a little bit shaded in the hill here. It's not going to get a full-on storm test. Look, it's windy enough. There it is. It's windy enough. I'm going to speak up a bit. First time pitching this tent. That's a little white lie. I had a week in Portugal recently, and I snuck it in my hand carry. I went off for a couple of hours without the missus knowing, and pitched it up and had a wee kind of snagging session because of those modifications that I wanted to make. And do you know what? I think they've worked really, really well. Right, so because I've not got a mic set up, I'll just do this in silent. Might put a bit of music over it actually, just to keep you interested. Just get these two stakes in. If you can hear me, get these two stakes in so we don't lose it in the wind. So it's a 3-pole system, 2 longer poles that go kind of end to end, and they're very similar to the Fjern and lots of other tents of this style, one kind of running, I suppose, perpendicular. What I found really interesting about this actually, and I'll just try and pull you in a bit, is these ball ends don't actually go into, there's normally like a little round circle, a little shoe just there. These ones don't, they just go into that sleeve. Now I was a little bit skeptical about that, but you know what, it's really, really tough. So you just, same as many other tents, I just clip a couple of the clips on, pop the other one in. You still see me yet? Shoot up the other end, and then it's the same deal here. It's just a little sleeve. Pretty cool, I like that. A couple more of these clips on. Either end. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, schoolboy error. That needs to go underneath. I'll come back to you. Right, so I've got the main structure up now. I've got the poles in. Had a little bit of faffing about there, so I just stopped recording. But I've got still left 2 pegs in here. Stop it from blowing away. There. There it is. Get it positioned into the wind. That seems quite nice. And again, I'm using my 16 gram Nortent pegs. These things just come with me everywhere now. So there, I've got it heading into the wind, which is good. You know what, it's actually really quite solid already. It has bungee style peg out points. One there and one here. That's just a tension line which I can tighten up from either end. There's a peg out point there. And then it's got a peg out point on the pole that runs perpendicular. and then the same round the other side. I'll go and grab that. Right guys, I'm not going to hide anything. I've made another mistake. I've actually pitched, I think, the wrong end into the wind. I'm thinking this pole here that's facing that way should really be going into the wind. So I'm going to unpeg the corners and the bungees, spin it round, and I'll come back to you. So the weather's actually been really good to me. It's just this second started raining. I've managed to spin it round, so I've got what I perceive to be the kind of the stronger end into the wind. Now what I was saying about the guy ropes, I'll just move you in a bit closer. Factory fitted, there's only one guy rope, and this is the orange rope here. Only one guy rope fitted, I think too far close to the top, too close to the top. I've seen a couple of people kind of play about with conversions and modifications. This is what I think was the best way to do it. So what I've done is I've actually made up a spare guy rope here that I can clip on with a quick hook, and it's on the other end of it. It's got a line lock on it. And then what I've done with the original guy rope is I've taken off the line lock, I've taken off the loops and everything, and I managed to get some of these additional frame clips. So my idea is, now I've not done this before, this is genuinely the first time I've done this. What my idea is to clip this onto the frame here. In fact, no, above that section there. But that then gives me two really solid guy ropes attached to the same bit of cord. And then what I do with this snap hook here is clip it on here, and then use this single guy rope to actually guy it out. I've got a line lock there, and then that gives me a really nice setup. Two guys coming off the frame, fast clip lock, can't remember the name of them, onto these two bits here, and then a line lock there. So let me just show you what I mean. So that's the original buckle that the guy rope attaches to, and I've kept it attached to that. But on the other end of that guy rope, I've bought some spare of these spare pole clips, same as the ones that actually attach the fly to the pole. So that guy is now attached there, and it's doubled up, you can see, down to this V point here, and then this here acts as a, I can't remember what you call it, like it evens the pressure out. I'll think of it and I'll put it up on screen. And then that just goes down to the peg, and then I've got an aluminium line lock on here to tighten it up. That times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them should be enough to keep this thing pretty stable in some heavy winds. So there we have it guys, all set up. Didn't want to hide anything. Like, I made some mistakes, it's only the second time I've pitched it. It's a bit windy, so yeah, I made a couple of mistakes, but rectified really easily. I know for the next time. So it's looking really handsome, really solid in this wind. I really like this new guy rope setup. I've got 6 of those all the way around the tent, and it's looking really, really, really solid. So, in the bottom corner here, another thing I really like about this, and I was a little bit confused when I first got it, was this actually, when it zips up, it takes the bottom portion with it as well. It's really interesting, that's joined onto there. So it makes it a lot easier, or a lot less fabric to roll up. Nice little touch that is. Look, you all know one of my big bugbearers, doors that don't stay open. They've only gone and cracked it, right? roll this up, and then no expense spared. You've got another frame clip onto the frame, clip onto the frame. That, my friends, is a lovely little detail. So another really nice little detail. Now, I love details on tents. I think it's the small, intricate details that define a good product to me. And this little thing here, look at that little bathtub there. It's just a little addition. It weighs absolutely nothing, but it means, okay, I've only got some pegs, it keeps everything off the ground. So you don't need a ground sheet. It's just got this little kind of hammock in the vestibule there for your gear. Now, admittedly, it's not the biggest vestibule, and I think that might be a bit of an issue in the rain also. So I might have to work out a way of taking the door here and making a little kind of canopy with a pole. So when it does rain, you've got a bit more space. This is a really handsome looking tent, and do you know what? For the size, I mean, it's only 1.6 kilos all in. Really solid. I'm very impressed with it. Hey, try. The wind's dropped a little bit. The rain's gone off, which is brilliant. Just show you the venting system on this quite quickly. Very simple. On the leading end, the end that I've got facing into the wind, it's just two simple little Velcro. I don't even know what you call them. It's just like a little bar, plastic bar. Velcro's onto the top. In there, Velcro's onto the top. So there's one of those on either side, and that's it. There's nothing in the other end. And then internally, there's mesh vent there, mesh vent there on the corresponding side, and there is a mesh vent in the top of the O-shaped door. Again, lovely O-shaped door, easy to handle with one hand, and then a mesh section on the top there. So that, my friends, is the Fjern Stormgrotta. Right, I think I'll go through the stats and things. I'll get a PDF, because I never remember the stats on tents. Never remember them. So I'll get a PDF off there, hopefully off Fjern's website, and then I'll go through the specs either later on in the morning, because do you know, I'm a little bit tired now. It's not that late. It's only, I don't know, it's probably 6 o'clock, but I'm getting hungry and I want a hot drink. Right, so rain's gone off for a second. It's been heavy, so I'm just taking a chance to open the door up and get some food on. Now, I've gone pretty simple tonight. Just like a bachelor's pasta and sauce. Chicken and bacon, I think it is. That should be quite nice. But what I've also brought, I'm going to go surf and turf tonight. I brought a tin of tuna chunks. I actually panicked for a second there, because I thought, how am I going to open it? But a trusty old Swiss Army knife has a tin opener on it. So probably going to take me 5 minutes to open, but I'm getting hungry. Give this a wee stir. A couple of people asked me recently, or commented recently, on the cook kit that I use, and it's something that I've spoken about recently, and it's something I've kind of developed over the last 6 months, and I'm using the Alpkit Coro. Yeah, this is going to take me a while. It's not juicy. juice in there. Lovely. When was the last time you used a knife to open a tin? Oof. Oh, stay off, rain. Come on, give me a chance, please. It's all a bit of a faff. Oh, it smells quite nice, actually. Come on, come on, come on. There we go, look. Oh, tuna chunks. Chicken and bacon, creamy pasta with tuna. Rain's back on. I had to close the vestibule. Not ideal. Open this little flap up here. Might let some air out. Not happy with cooking in here, but you know what? I'm starving, so I have to. That'll do. Oh, that rain's really coming down. Oh. Look at this. That's actually really nice. Do you know what that's really nice? You probably can't hear me. Well, if nothing else, the waterproofness will get tested tonight, that's for sure. Morning, guys. Right, didn't do my washing up last night. Oh, don't know whether I've showed you these before. These little kind of pellets. They're about the size of a Trebor extra strong mint, if you know what one of those is. Basically, put a bit of water on it and it expands. It grows. It turns in to, well, it doesn't turn into it, is one. It expands out to a cloth. Because I didn't do my washing up last night, a bit of food left in my pan. 2 of these, a bit of water in there. Lovely jubbly. These things are brilliant. And I just keep 5 or 6 of them in my electrical bag so they stay dry, and then I've got a clean pan for a cup of tea. It's my new container for my coffee. It's an old medicine tub, one of these kind of child safety click lock ones. Works really well. So I said last night that I was going to get like a specification sheet on the Stormgrotta, the Fjern Stormgrotta. Decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look for some information on the materials they use and stuff like that, just to give you an idea. But do you know what? With regards to dimensions, does it really matter? In layman's terms, if I tell you it's 2 centimetres shorter than it's advertised, or does it really matter that much? What I will tell you is I'm 6'1" and 17.5 stone. You can do the calculation in your own region, the conversion in your own region. What I will tell you is I can fit my Nortent Torv 7 sleep mat in it, which is a beast. I can lie down flat in it without touching either end. There's a nice bit of space. Oh, let me just get down here. Nice little bit of space down the back here in the corner section. And do you know what? I can sit up in it. Absolutely no problem. Now, like I say, I'm 6'1". I'm a big guy. I don't feel claustrophobic in this tent. And that's a real important factor for me. As an autistic person, that's why I don't use a sleeping bag, because I feel too confined, too restricted. I feel claustrophobic. This is the smallest tent I own, and I don't feel claustrophobic in it. It's I don't know. It's not magic, obviously, but I think it's to do. I honestly think it's to do with that lovely colour, the lovely green colour. Just gives a sense of. Sounds a bit. Ooh, but it feels quite tranquil in here. It's really, really quite nice. Well done, Fjern. So guys, I'm just going to caveat what I just said. Look, I've not measured it. It's not 2 centimetres shorter, just in case anyone picks me up on that. Because I know there are some people out there that do like to measure them and give the true lengths and widths and heights and depths and everything. That's not me, right? I'll tell you as it is. I can fit in it. My big sleep mat fits in it. I fit in it. No problem. Oh, there's the sun come up, look. Lovely. Look at that. Oh, man. I'm a lucky boy this morning. You may have noticed I've got my gloves on. It's the first time this year. Well, this year, obviously at the beginning of the year I had to, but it's the first time coming out of summer into autumn. It's the first time I've had to have them on. It's a bit chipper this morning, guys. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy that sunrise. Oh, it's a lovely heat off it as well. Oh. Oh, this is the life, guys. I tell you, this is the life. Right, here we go, guys. So, I've got some stats on the Fjern Stormgrotta. Some of them I've gone over already, but I'll just go through the list that are actually officially advertised by Fjern. So the total pack weight is 1.6 kilos. That's brilliant. And the pack dimensions, 39 centimetres by 16 centimetres by 15 centimetres. The minimum folded pole length is 40 centimetres. That's about average. I couldn't quite get it in the side pocket, one of my water bottle pockets, so I had to put it in the big pocket of my 4-class MT50, the big front pocket. Flysheet hydrostatic head of 3,000 millimeters, and the bathtub in the actual tent, and of the kind of the little bathtub in the vestibule is 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head. Two-way door zipper, so you can unzip it from the bottom upwards or from the top downwards. If you're inside and you're getting a bit of condensation, you can just open that top section up a little bit just to give you a bit more ventilation. Detachable gear bucket, spoken about that. Detachable inner tent, I've not spoken about that, but as you saw yesterday, it's a one pitch all. You pitch the fly and the inner at the same time. It's an exoskeleton design, so the frame's on the outside. You basically set out the fly, attach it to the frame, and it all goes up. You don't have to erect. You don't have to put up the inner tent first. So again, brilliant for the British weather or anywhere that's really, really rainy and wet, because you can actually put it all up at once very quickly, get your stuff inside. You're not having to put up the inner first, and then the inner's getting wet whilst you're putting the fly over. That's the only kind of tent that I will use in the UK. Easy pack carry bag with two compression straps. I showed you this yesterday. I just love these types of bags. Dead easy, just cram it all in. Although I don't cram it in, I don't fold it. I roll it, put it in. It's just a bit easier at the other end when you're getting it back out. I just like these little bags that are slightly oversized. You get everything in there and then you compress it down, a bit like your sleeping bag when you put your sleeping bag in the compression sack. It's just a bit easier than trying to kind of force it into something that's too small. 12 Y-profile lightweight aluminium 15 centimeter ground pegs. Now the ground pegs are actually really quite good, but they're just too short. The ground where I tend to camp in Scotland, in the Scottish Southern Uplands, tends to be very soft. So I need a longer peg, a fatter peg, just to get more purchase in the ground. The Fjern ones were quite nice, they're just not big and robust enough. 2 external fly vents, showed you those last night. The poles, 8.5mm 7001 aluminium pole system. As I said yesterday, I thought they were 8.5s. The little additional clips that I bought for the guy rope adjustment, or the guy rope modification that I made, are actually 10mm. So they're a little bit loose. I don't mind that, because once there's tension on the guy rope, they're pulled solid. It's probably just a bit easier to get them on and off. And then I don't think I showed you yesterday the pockets. You just need to take my word for it. There's a pocket. Do you know what? No, let's get doing. Let's do it properly, eh? So, on the inside of the door here, it's a triangular mesh pocket for the door to be stashed into. And then at the head end, there's a triangular stash pocket there, and then one on the other side also. Just like that. Now, there's not a great deal in here in terms of bits and bobs. There is a nice hook. Let's see if I can get you here. There's a good hook there actually. It's not just a little toggle that sometimes are a bit hard to use. It's got a good size hook for a lantern. And that's about it. There's no real bells and whistles in here. They've kept it really simple inside, which I really quite like. So I just wanted to put this out there, guys. I know that some of you may, or some people may, think, why would I buy a tent that I have to modify? And that's, you know, it's a really, really valid point. Now, I saw this tent. There's a couple of people that I follow on YouTube bought it, and I just really, really liked the look of it. I just thought it was a very handsome looking tent. I love the colour of it. I quite like the fact that it's a British brand, although it's not manufactured in the UK. But what I would say is, if you see something you like, and do you know what, if you have to make a small modification to it, go for it. I'm quite open for these kind of things, because it's what I do. I'm a trained designer, and I like to modify things. I like to upcycle things. This isn't upcycling by a long stretch, but I like to find solutions to things, and that's part of being autistic. I like the minute details of things, and I like to find solutions. So if you like the look of it and you're a little bit worried about the modifications, just drop me a line, drop me a comment in the box, or email me. My email address is on my bio, because I do find these things maybe a bit easier than others. I'm not afraid to take that chance. I suppose that's why I'm doing it. I'll go through the pain and find a really good solution, and believe me, it took me a while. It wasn't just when I went, right, boom, there's a solution. It took me a long time, a lot of hyper fixating over a week or two to get this solution. I even took it on holiday with me to Portugal, family holiday. I took this away to try and come up with a really nice idea, a really nice modification. And we got there in the end. Okay guys, so not really much more to say. Gonna start packing away now. I'm not gonna show you that because let's be honest, it's pretty boring. I just found as well, I brought myself a really nice can of Budweiser Zero. Didn't drink it. Need to come out next time. I think this is probably going to be the last week because the weather's really coming in now. The last week I'm going to use my quilt. I think next time you'll probably see the big Agnes Lost Dog back out, my big winter sleeping bag. So, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you fancy subscribing, then please subscribe. But as always, comments. I love your comments. Comments are what make this channel what it is. Whether it's about gear reviews, whether it's about autism, whether it's about mental health struggles. I want to hear it all. If you've got anything for me, drop it below. That's it really. I'll see you next time on Richard Mountain Rambles.